I think everybody deserves their own day. Some people say they're not birthday people, and I find that kind of insane. Like, there's 365 of these things every single year. You should get one dedicated to just you, right? I realize people share their birthdays with everyone, and thank you, everybody in the comments who is wishing me a happy birthday. That is, of course, what has set this up today. It is my 37th birthday, and I love celebrating it. I love just having a day where I wake up to a ton of text messages, and that's why I think it's important. I always make sure to text all my friends and relatives right at midnight on their birthdays. I think it's important that you just have that day where people think about you. I think it's good for all of us to just have a day where you get to kind of put your priorities aside and you're someone else's priority, or at least someone has something nice to say to you. I come into work today, every single person, happy birthday. Feels freaking great. I cannot imagine not wanting that. And I hope everybody out there has at least one day every single year where they get to feel that way. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to Philadelphia. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the afternoon. Joining me today, it is none other than our Phillies expert, my producer, Tyler Zulli.
All right, well, let me be the next person to wish you a happy birthday, Bill. Congratulations on your day. And you and I don't agree when it comes to birthdays.
I know, you're one of those people. That's what set this up today.
I will say I think mine is due in part to the fact of the day that my birthday falls on, which is extremely close to a major holiday. And so I kind of don't play that game anymore just because I'm an adult. Like when I was a kid, my parents did a great job of it.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of just let's get back to normal. Because Christmas is probably the biggest holiday of the year.
It's just such a thing. Like, you're doing stuff nonstop for like a month.
So so my birthday's 2 days after Christmas. We get to that point and I'm like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I don't know.
Stay home.
Play Madden? And not talk to anybody?
But, that is, I think, like, if you want to, I said the other day, like, what I want, Ava asked me what I wanted to do for my birthday. I was like, I want to eat a container of Hashables and watch as many Fast and Furious movies as possible. That's what I want to do. Like, that's literally, it doesn't have to be presents or a big thing. Like, you should just get to do whatever the hell you want to do one day a year. And it should be on the day you were born. Celebrate another trip around the sun for yourself. And I like that. But I do understand, especially with it being after Christmas, which is just nonstop. From Thanksgiving on, you're just doing stuff, oftentimes against your will. That's how I feel, at least. So I guess
we were fortunate. So our son was born in October, so he was still relatively young. So we pretty much pulled the power card and was like, listen, you can come see him, but you're coming to us. Yes. And then it's like, when it's time to leave, you can see yourself out the door.
Absolutely.
Well, you get that once. Yeah, I don't get that anymore. Yeah. So we are going to go back to having to go see people.
Oh, that's a good one, though. That's a nice card to play. All right, let's hit some headlines. It is a huge day here in Philadelphia. Last night, it was baseball heaven, wasn't it? I'm a little worried going in. They've lost 3 in a row. We need to turn this thing around. And they do it in tremendous fashion. We'll start with the man of the hour, Kyle Schwarber. Hits numbers 55 and 56 in this clinching win last night. And I got to tell you, I was a few weeks ago when Tyler and I were talking about it saying, Howard's the guy I grew up with. I don't know if I want to see his records fall. And that made me start thinking, like, am I that guy now? Am I that guy that, like, when I was a kid, like, my dad would be like, oh, he's no Mike Schmidt. And I'd be like, yeah, he's actually got 10 more than he ever did. So, all right. And it's like records are meant to be broken. I want to see these things. And now I do want to see him get to 58. And with 4 games left, Tyler, man, I'm holding out hope for 60 because I remember that feeling in 2006 when it was like, I think it was Bill Conlon wrote an article where it was, he's all but a lock for 60, and then he didn't see a strike for 3 weeks, and he didn't quite get there. And 60 is such a that's the number, right? And now you look at what Schwarber has to go with 4 games left. The Phils aren't playing for anything, but you got to believe the DH, who doesn't have to do anything but go up there and swing for the fences, especially now with nothing to play for, he's got a shot. Two home run games is very much in the cards. He could easily do that before Sunday. It's not like that's a crazy feat, but Kyle Schwarber, man, just what he's been able to do. Has this ever happened with a Philadelphia athlete before? Really, in any sport, you sign a relatively, at least, it's not like he got the Harper or Turner contract, but $19 million a season, pretty decent. Has we ever signed a high-price free agent and he over-delivers and actually gets better as he's aged? I cannot think of a single example of that happening in any of the sports?
No, I mean, I went back through earlier in the season before the year started. I went through the 5 best free agent signings because it was on the anniversary of Bryce Harper signing as a member of the Phillies, which, whether it's productivity or it's just what Bryce Harper brought to this team, he still remains very, very high on the list.
Oh, yeah.
But I think 2 guys that are deservingly not only on the list, but have climbed up the list in the last couple of years are Schwarber and Wheeler.
Wheeler as well. That is you signed him a lot based on potential, and
Sure.
it's oh.
Well, you signed a guy who had been injured 3 of the last 5 seasons,
Yeah.
and then up until this year with kind of a freak blood clot thoracic outlet, he's been nothing but healthy, right? And same thing with Schwarber, where you had a guy who was a 200 hitter, right about that 200 mark, struck out a lot, and he still strikes out a lot, but his ability to hit lefties, his ability to hit with 2 strikes, he's just become a more complete hitter at 33, 30, whatever it is now, than he's ever been before.
That's the thing I really wanted to get to here is he's better. He's better than he was when they signed him. Kyle Schwarber has 23 home runs against a left-handed pitcher this season. That's the most ever for a lefty on lefty in baseball history, Major League history. This year, off of lefties, 254 batting average, 967 OPS, the 23 home runs. The average in OPS higher than his splits against righties. In 2022, Schwarber hit 10 home runs off lefties. He batted 193 with a 687 OPS. In his 30s, he has gotten better, and I don't know if I've ever heard anything like that. That doesn't happen. Even Harper, I think he's met expectations. I wouldn't say he's head and shoulders better than he was when we signed him. He's very good. He's got an MVP. He's got an NLCS MVP. He's been huge in the playoffs. But I think he's mostly met expectations. Schwarber has blown them away.
Yeah, I mean, they have 3. I think you could add a 3rd guy now. It's not this free agent signing, but getting Christopher Sanchez on the deal that they did, you have 3 players right now that now Wheeler's making a ton because he's earned that 2nd contract with the Phillies. Schwarber's going to do the same thing probably next season. But you've got 3 guys who basically have, I mean, by value, were substantially underpaid for a bulk of their productivity.
Now, the next headline, we are sticking with baseball because it wasn't just the Schwarber show last night. Phillies hit a franchise record 8 home runs in their win to clinch the 2nd seed in the National League. And it's Edmundo freaking Sosa who scores a hat trick. 3 home runs. That first one, I was like, just off the end of oh, hell yeah. And then he pummels a couple more. The third, is it fan interference? And you see the side angle, and it was well over the flower bed. Edmundo Sosa is the first Phillies shortstop to ever hit 3 home runs in a game. I guess that's not crazy, but I don't know. They're paying Trey Turner a whole ton of money, and he's had, power surges throughout his career. Jimmy Rollins had some pretty good home run total seasons. Remember early in his career, it was, he's Willie Mays Hayes. We got to stop him swinging for the fences. And then it turns out, I want to get to the Schwarber stuff and him hitting the leadoff and what the numbers are and how we used to treat our cleanup hitter. But Sosa, it's kind of crazy. He's the first shortstop for a team that's been around since 1883 with 3 home runs in a game.
I mean, I can't believe Granny Hamner never did it, Bill. Can't believe it.
And finally, not to be outdone, I guess we do have to acknowledge someone actually did get to 60 last night. Big dumper, man. Cal Raleigh hits number 60. And the 60 home run club is absolutely freaking nuts, especially when you just take the American League into account. It's all the home run champions. It's all Yankees, the guys who just pummeled the ball in pinstripes, and then the Seattle catcher. That's pretty freaking cool. That is cool that we're just in this new era of a new power surge, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he's breaking records. He's already broken the catcher record, right? He's 60 home runs as a switch hitter is crazy. He's got 38 from the left side and 22 from the right side. I mean, it's just an unbelievable season for Cal Raleigh. And whether, the MVP conversation between him and Aaron Judge, whether he wins the MVP or Judge wins the MVP, I know the argument is Cal Raleigh's hitting 240. It's an unbelievable year from the most difficult position to become an offensive productive player when you're also trying to catch on an everyday basis.
That's the thing. He's played, he's DH'd, he's been out from behind the plate some, but as a catcher, he sets the home run record for catchers, and you got to think, you're giving away an at-bat every game. By the 9th inning, your legs are shot. You are giving away when you're still able to pummel 60. That is insane. I want to get back to Schwarber. I want to get to plenty of Red October topics coming up. But first, we got to take a quick break. I got to tell you right now about the Ford F-Series. It is America's best-selling truck for 48 straight years. That is a streak unlike any other, and it's no surprise because it's the F-150. It's the F-Series. The F-150, it blends that work-ready toughness with modern-day tech and luxury. It's made of military-grade aluminum alloy. It's tough, it's lightweight, and it's corrosion-resistant. Great for, say, maybe you want to take it down the shore. Maybe you're a shore person. You want to keep it outside, or listen, you need the truck for work. This thing is going to hold up, but it still has all the tech you're looking for. The 360-degree camera to help with trailering, parking, and off-roading, and the standard Ford Blue Cruise hands-free highway driving system, and it comes with standard Apple Play and Android as well. And the Max Recline seats, you need the good recline, the cab options for any lifestyle, regular, super cab, and super crew, and the bed blanks to fit any needs. For more information, super easy, just go to your local Ford store.
All right, let me tell you about our friends over at Xfinity here, because listen, you're hanging out with your buddies, you want to watch the game, and all of a sudden you realize, wow, your setup stinks. What is happening here? It's laggy, it's buffering, you got to switch between apps just to get to the game that you're looking for, and by the time you get there, you miss the big play, because if your friend calls himself a big fan, they've got to get Xfinity. You have to be the ultimate sports destination. If you're going to invite your buddies over for football and baseball playoffs coming around, hockey starts in just a couple of weeks. We were talking about today. There was a day in October where it may be Philadelphia sports heaven at the postseason around. And if you're going to watch all of those games, you have to get Xfinity. It is the perfect fan flex with all of the action right in your living room. And sometimes you can watch all 4 of those games at once, because why not? Phillies are going to be at sports heaven in a couple of weeks on that Thursday night. And on top of that, you get real-time notification and live stats right on your TV. It is the best seat in the house every single time. So next game day, make sure that big fan in your life isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that.
We're back. All right, I'm trying to fit that bell into wherever I can and see where it fits. I want to get back to Schwarber v. Ryan Howard. Schwarber chasing franchise history now. 2 home runs shy of tying the franchise record, Howard's MVP season of 2006, which was just absolutely insane. So I wanted to take a quick look and compare the seasons that they're having, because I think it's a foregone conclusion that Schwarber can't win the MVP. I mean, like, if he gets to 60, man, but it's the Shohei Ohtani award until they come up with some other way to judge value, or just come up with a new award because most valuable player is going to go to Ohtani no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about Cal Raleigh. You're probably looking at a guy who's going to hit 60 and potentially lose the American League MVP.
He's a pretty decent favorite right now. I checked at Bet Parks. I think he was minus 140 or minus 160 for AL MVP. But Schwarber, NL, not listed. Like, the NL is pretty much decided. And you look at these seasons, and they're not super far off, but they are. Like, it is. Howard somehow hit 313 that year. I believe that's well before they really started shifting hard on him. I think this was kind of the impetus to go, yo, he's only pulling the ball. We are lining up. Listen, in the outfield, he hits it all over, but on the ground, he is pulling this ball. So we are just only going to play on the right side of the infield, and that average takes a huge hit in the coming years. But you see, he hits over 300, the 149 runs batted in, and the OPS over 1,000, just absolutely insane. But a lot of the counting numbers, not all that far off, Tyler. You just look at the raw home runs, Schwarber with 4 games to go, 2 behind him. You look at the total extra base hits. Howard had 84 that year. Schwarber at 81. RBI, 132, 149. Once you're over 120, what the hell's the difference? The strikeout thing, very, very interesting to me, Tyler. 181. And it was a talking point forever. Howard had the couple of years at 199. I think he didn't quite crack 200. He had back-to-back years of 199. But his MVP year, 181, that's the cleanup hitter. He is in there to slug, and that's it. Kyle Schwarber this year, 189 strikeouts, batting under 250. He hits first or second. You know, he's not the leadoff hitter anymore. He's mostly down in the lineup. But it's not like he's batting cleanup. He's hitting 2. 189 strikeouts. No one cares. This talking point is over. It is very funny how the game has changed, where batting average and strikeouts, nobody's worried about it anymore.
Yeah, strikeouts don't matter anymore. I mean, I did a video a couple of weeks ago about where have all the batting averages gone? Because this time in 2015, there were a dozen qualified hitters over 300, and this time in 2005, there was 25 qualified hitters over 300, and this year there's 3.
Yeah,
and Trey Turner legitimately might win the National League batting title at 305.
Trey Turner has missed how much time he still leads the NL in hits. It's really, really wild how the game has changed. Now there's such an emphasis on walks and just getting on base and driving the ball. I get it. I fully understand. But just the craziness of the way we used to discuss Ryan Howard, who was only in there to hit fourth and slug the ball, and how even I feel about Kyle Schwarber, 1, 2, don't care, love it, think it's great. And he's going to strike out 200 times this year. It's going to happen. And I don't care that he's hitting under 250. Doesn't bother me a little bit. It's just very funny how that's changed. The 4 years that Schwarber has been here versus Howard's real height, I'm going to take it 06 to 09. Howard hit 198 home runs. Schwarber, with a weekend to go, is at 187 over his 4-year tenure with the Phils. And if you want to look at the postseason, pretty sure Schwarber's blowing him away, because he's just had a lot of opportunities, and those offenses weren't always awesome when the Phillies got to the postseason in that time frame. So it's been just super impressive how great this signing has been, and now we can only cross our fingers. It does seem as if he ain't going anywhere. This team is very much committed to, what do you want? What do you want, Kyle? And honestly, if you're going to be a team of signees and vets over 30, keep the awesome one.
There is, you bring up Howard's numbers from 06 to 09, and I think what this argument or this conversation kind of brings to light is it's not a knock on Schwarber. I mean, he's been unbelievable since the acquisition. I think what it does is force us to reevaluate and reassess just how good Ryan Howard was for that 4-year stretch.
Unbelievable.
Better than Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera good in that stretch. 2 lock Hall of Famers. And he was better than both of them, right? Like, maybe the most feared hitter in baseball for a 3 to 4 year period where the minimum amount of home runs he hit in a season was like 45. I mean, unbelievable numbers.
It's like, oh, he didn't break 50 again? What the, really? Like 45, 48? Okay. Like, and then it starts to tail off. He's in the 30s, then he gets hurt. But, like, it was, for that period of time, so freaking tremendous. And it's kind of crazy. We're basically reliving it, at least in terms of the power totals, with Schwarber all over again.
He hit 25 his final year as a Philly, and, like, he couldn't walk.
His legs did. That's the DH robbed us of 2 things in a previous generation of Phillies baseball. One, Ryan Howard's second half of his career. If he could just not stand in the sun all day and only worry about hitting the ball 500 feet, we could have got more Ryan Howard. 2, it robbed us of a Tomei and Howard lineup. That would have been so freaking awesome.
Goodness, that would have been like 90s Cleveland, where they had Tomei and Manny and Albert Bell. Like, now, that's what you would be looking at.
It is insanely left-handed with Utley there as well. At least you have, like, the shortstop, the center fielder can switch hit, but, like, it's insanely left-handed. But how do you pitch to them? How do you pitch to them, especially a righty starter? What the hell do you do? The DH rule robbed us of those 2 awesome things. All right, I want to get to Luzardo and some playoff matchup stuff with Tyler in just a minute. But first, I got to tell you about BetParx. Whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win at the BetParx online casino app. I checked out a game today I hadn't played before. I was playing the Huff and More Puff slot machine. Just a little downtime. I knew we were doing a mostly Phillies show today, so it was pretty easy to just get a couple of topics done. And all right, I have more downtime than usual. Let's give it a couple spins and end up winning a few bucks. That's what you got to do with BetParx. Turn your downtime into some entertainment time and maybe some profit as well. They've got online slots based on your favorite streaming shows like The Walking Dead and Squid Game, and even some nostalgia fun with The Goonies. They also have all your casino favorites. I'm talking blackjack, I'm talking roulette, I'm talking craps, poker, baccarat. You have to check out BetParx, and it's super easy to do, and right now is the time because new users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Just go to betparx.com and download the app now to enjoy all your classic casino games right in the palm of your hand. Must be 21 and in PA, Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, whether you said it was something small like a faucet or an outlet that you had to fix and you just haven't had the time to do it, or something significant as the winter months start to creep their way in a little bit. I know it's still warm, but don't let that fool you. Winter is on the way, and it will be here soon. And if you need to get your heater fixed or you want to get your AC fixed before next summer, you call our friends over at Ace Hardware and Ace Hardware Home Services. Why? Because, listen, you know they're the dedicated team that's going to get the job done right, and they're going to do it right until you're satisfied. But they also bring that helpful hardware folks feel that you feel in the store right to your front door, all the way from Philly to the Jersey Shore. And with that, they're going to offer you understanding and expertise. They're local to your community, so they know that they want to make sure that your home hums all year long because it reflects them and their community as well. And of course, with our friends over at Ace, they will work with you until the job is done exactly how you are looking for it to be done. So if you have something small or significant that you need fixed in your home and you're not handy, head on over to Ace Hardware Home Services at acehardwarehomeservices.com, and you can get started on your next project as soon as tomorrow.
All right, we are back, and I did want to extend a happy birthday as well to my birthday brother, James Seltzer, a great producer of the WIP Morning Show, as well as my all-time favorite hockey player, Frank Bialowas, the animal. He is also born. He was also born on September 25th. All right, let's talk. Let's talk Luzardo, Tyler, because first of all, I'm pretty sure I saw you do something that I found amazing. And listen, you saw me count. You know, I had to figure out 7. I couldn't figure out 7 or 8 the other day, subtracting the year. I'm pretty sure I watched you earlier today in your head figure out what Luzardo's ERA would be without those 2 disaster games where he gave up 20 earned runs. Did I see that happen?
Well, there was an ERA calculator involved, so
okay.
it wasn't me
All
just
right.
doing math in my head. I am not very good
Is
at
Tyler a
math.
genius?
No. I'm good at. I have a pretty good memory, but math is not my strong suit. But yeah, I mean, he's given up 80 runs this year, and 20 of them were in those 2 bad starts against the Blue Jays and the Brewers. Like, we're talking about a quarter of this guy's season in 2 games. His ERA is 3.92 with those games. Without them, in 178 innings pitched, it's 3.03. This guy, I think, has those 2 starts, and people go, well, I don't know, man. He might not pitch well. This dude's been excellent all year long.
Luzardo has given up 3 or fewer earned runs in 23 of 32 starts. Like Tyler said, his ERA without those 2 just disaster games where I guess he was like yelling to the tipping pitches in 5 2/3 innings to give up 20 runs. The pitch tipping must have been, yo, I'm throwing a slider. Like, I can't, like, he only gave up like 3 home runs. I think it was 3 home runs and 5 walks and somehow gives up 20 runs. Like, they were just singling him. I don't know. It was insane, but 7 innings last night, no earned runs, gives up the 1 on an error, but 10 strikeouts, only 3 hits, no walks. He has been really freaking good for this team, and now that his season is over, you look at the totals, 3.92 ERA, and listen, he did have those 2 games. They happened back-to-back, May 31st, June 5th, but that was a long freaking time ago. His full season ERA, though, 3.92, not terrible, 216K. That is a huge number. That's a big number. I wasn't sure if I trusted him as a starter or if I wanted that arm to be able to come in and give you an inning or 2 in relief. I think we have to trust him as a starter.
Well, I think even if he wasn't pitching particularly well, you really didn't have a choice.
And with the way Nola's pitching, like, there's no other option.
But
Wheeler's hurt.
He's at worst your game 3 starter. He might pitch game 2. And I think the way that I've evaluated it is I think if they win game 1, I might consider Luzardo in game 2. Because of the ceiling, the stuff, the upside. If they lose game 1, I think I'd go Ranger because it's just like cool.
Collected.
Exactly. There's a personification to him, and he's pitched in big playoff spots before. I think I would go Ranger game 2 if they lose game 1, but I wouldn't be stunned if they decide to go Luzardo game 2 if Sanchez wins game 1.
That is an interesting way to look at it. I think that makes a ton of sense. It's weird that we have 3 lefties, right? Like, that we're going to go lefty, lefty, lefty?
Yeah, and the unfortunate part, like, I'm not going to sit here and complain about it, but the Dodgers hit lefties well. And if you go, like, there is a good chance you're going to face the Dodgers in the NLDS. Like, you're just going to have to take your chances because it's a good group of lefties. It's not a bunch of bums. And they're your 3 best starters right now.
All right, let's take a look at that playoff bracket and see how things could go, at least as of now. There are still some spots up for grabs, but this is what we are looking at in terms of seeding at the moment. Phils will play the winner of Dodgers and whoever gets that 6th seed. Right now, it could be the Mets. I hate to say I want the Dodgers. Yeah, especially with this lefty thing you're bringing up. Do we want to repeat last year? Do we want to go all in and be like, I want the freaking Mets, and then have that happen again? I think we need vengeance. I think I need vengeance from last year. You all know how much I freaking hate the Mets. I realize the Phils don't play well there, but with home field advantage and just how good the Dodgers are and the Ohtani factor, I mean, he just no-hit them for 5 innings the other day. I think we have to, I don't know if I can say that out loud. We have to be rooting for the Mets, but I think if they get that spot, that's who I want.
Yeah, I think you probably do want the Mets, and I think it's a combination of a couple things. They've not played very good baseball over the last month or so. Their pitching depth has been really, really tested. They're relying on some very good rookies, but rookies nonetheless in Tong and in McLean, and we'll see how that stacks up in the postseason. They're not the same team that they were heading into the postseason last year. And when I compare those teams to the Dodgers, who, while they do feel human this year, we expected superhuman and they've only been human, it's still a very, very good roster, and their starting rotation is super, super deep. The Reds would also be troublesome only in the fact that I don't love their offense. I think it's okay, but their starting pitching, especially at the top with Abbott and with Hunter Green, and whatever they can utilize with Chase Burns, who just powers through lineups. I think of those three teams, the three likeliest scenarios, I think I want the Mets.
Yeah, I guess we have to look at it like this is a new year. The team, as of right now, they did lose 3 in a row, but the vibes have been great since they got swept up in Queens. And you just have to think that whatever happened in that series flipped a switch for this team, and now they're back to who they're supposed to be. I guess we want the Mets, and yeah, beating them would feel real good. Beating them after they embarrassed us last year would feel really, really good. All right, we'll do social studies and Matt's Hates Mornings, and we'll have a full football Friday tomorrow. It'll feel more like a regular Philadelphia show, but I'm just pumped up for Red October right now. I wanted to do this today. Real quick, Tyler. Stott on July 22nd, Bryson Stott was hitting .228. It seemed like a lost year for the Phil's second baseman. 53 games and 190 plate appearances since. He has hit .305, and he is slugging .521. He's got 7 home runs and 21 extra base hits. I know we've kind of been like, all right, Stott came around a little. I don't know if we've recognized just how good he's been lately.
Yeah, I think two things have really been a factor for him, and they were really a factor for him his 2023 season when he had a really good kind of breakout year where we were all really excited. Was he's hitting with 2 strikes again. He's very good with 2 strikes when he's on, and you need him to be because he doesn't hit a ton of like last night he crushed a pitch.
He hit the thing into the, almost over the bullpen, which is not something I thought he was capable of.
I mean, it was smoked, but like you're not seeing that too often, but he's very good with 2 strikes, and he's very good going the opposite field and spraying across to all fields. And when he's doing those 2 things, I think him dropping his hands around the All-Star break is sizable because he's not, you could see it. He's not doing this back shoulder dip thing anymore. It's a lot more, powering through and the elbow stays up. And, I think he's not getting beat up in the zone with fastballs nearly as much anymore. He's hitting with 2 strikes. And I think they've all had kind of this little bottom of the lineup resurgence over the last couple of months. And he's been a big factor into it.
It's very interesting. Like I was thinking last night as I'm watching Sosa do what he's doing, all right, are we going to be platooning second base in the playoffs? And then you look at what Stott's done since the middle of July, and you go, I don't think they need to. I think they just have an awesome utility infielder in Edmundo Sosa, and it's almost like, yeah, man, if Bohm's going to hit the way he's hitting and Stott's going to keep this up, there's not really a spot for him in the lineup, which is crazy to think the way this was going just a few weeks ago when Bohm was out.
It's a good problem to have. Yeah. They have a good problem on their hands.
The way the injury luck has gone this season, it is absolutely key that they have this extra infielder. All right, that's all the time we have for you on Philadelphia today. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you tune into the Flyers show today right here on the PHLY YouTube at 4 o'clock. And make sure you're following us right here on the PHLY YouTube. And hit that like button. Makes me feel good. Makes me happy when you hit the like button. Follow me on Twitter at Philadelphia PHLY, and make sure you're following the podcast as well. Just search Philadelphia. That is it for us today. My name is Bill Matz. Thank you to my producer, Tyler. Till tomorrow, be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.